my mic was off that entire time. Oh my lord. I gave Sun a 5.5. It's just good old reliable white person music. No More, it was really funny at the time when content got deleted and all audio was replaced by royalty-free, copyright-free music. And this is one of the few songs that, well, not few, they're all really good. Like, almost all of them are all really high quality. But this one stood out as just being a banger. I'll give it a 5.5. Okay, Electric Sunrise by Pliny. It just sounds like, you know, a bunch of guitar riffs strung together. I don't really know exactly what it's aiming for with its emotion, but it's a bit... It tries to sound very majestic, and it's pretty good instrumental music, but I'll still just give it a 5. It's good, but I'm not really, like, feeling it all too much. The build-up is a little bit too long for me personally, and when it does reach that, like, explosive point, I kinda do feel it, but it starts to plateau after a while. Whew, what a banger. Athletic theme, Super Mario Maker 2, Super Mario 3D World. Just banger jazz music. I gotta give this a 6.5. I don't know why I like it this much, but I genuinely just think this is the best athletic theme in the entirety of Super Mario Maker 2. Okay, Twin Peaks Fire Walk With Me, The Voice of Love by Angelo Badalamenti, or however you say his name. Actually, a really good song. I just found this through that Germa meme where it's like, every time he's laughing, it looks like he's going through the most pain possible by man, and I was expecting this song to just be like this the entire time, and it kind of is, but it's a bit more expressive than I thought. It was way more well composed and representative of the feelings that the creator is trying to portray. There's no like explosive moment, there's nothing like insanely like wowing about it. It's consistent and unchanging usually. And something about that just really clicks with me. So I'm giving this a 6. Yes. Alright, we've made it onto the titles section. So I'm gonna be doing this very differently compared to the rest of these platforms, because a lot of titles music is very mainstream and popular, and honestly, I don't care enough to give my opinion on music that already has way more people talking about it in better depth and more detail than I ever will. Kagefumi by Hiyake, very much known for this extremely popular part right here. I'll give it a 5.5, really good instrumental music. Drowning Love Chasing Chu by Penguin Piano, another good instrumental song, solo piano, interesting. I'll give it a 5.5. Ooh, man, if we're gonna talk about peak, then look none other than Laura Shigehara with her Plants vs. Zombies composition. Absolute banger. I gotta give this a 6. It's a great song. Just Take My Wallet by Jack Stauber, just some micro-pop theatrical music. I think it's alright. It has some pleasant sounds on it sometimes. It's a bit homey and a bit somber sometimes. I'd say it's a 4.5. Robot Stop by King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard. Unfortunate that it's been relegated to a trailer song when the song itself is genuinely great. I'd give this a 6. Them Changes by Thundercat. Very iconic, slow funk music. I'd give it a 5.5. Hey, it's that funny Russian song. I'll give it a 5. It's okay. I'm just gonna give this its rank. It's a good song. It's a 6, yeah. Okay, I will give this one a bit more of an extensive review because it's a Kanye song and I really like Kanye, but I won't play the song because it's a Kanye song and I'll get shot by like a firing squad if I do, so. Again, it talks about his struggles, but not in a way that sounds like he's bragging about it, but in a much more authentic manner that seems relatable and grounded. I'm giving this a 6.5. Alright, now we got Nautilus by Creo, an absolute staple in the Geometry Dash community with how good their dance and electronic music is. Or dance electronic, I mean. I'd give it a 5.5. In levels, it's phenomenal, but by itself, it's okay. It's in comparison to how good it is in a level, it's okay, but by itself, it is good. Oh hey, it's this song, Sphere by Creo. I like it more than Nautilus, but I'll give it the same rank. Oh hey, Black Blizzard by Karmal, or Karma L, as he really liked to be called instead, but he just accepted his fate. I'd give it a 5.5 as well. As some... You know what? No, I'll give it a 6. I actually like it that much. I really like its dramatic build-up with that, like, jazzy trumpet in the background. And the way it just blows up right here. That's really cool. Alright, now we got Beatles. I'm not even gonna say anything, I'm just gonna give it its rating, so... Beep, boop, and bop. Alright, now on to Kanye's music. I honestly might just do the exact same thing I did with the Beatles, cause I don't feel like talking about all of these, and people have heard enough of their others' opinions about this song, so... Actually, I'm gonna change Octopus's Garden to a 6, I actually like that song more. Alright, so we got... Boop, Bleep, Zoop... Oh wait, no. Fuck. Bleep, Blorp... Ah, I've already fucked this up. Bleep, Blorp, Blop, Zip, Zop, Zoobity, Bop. I do not care to emphasize what my opinions are on this song. Enough people have already talked about it. Way more than enough people. Anyways, we're on to some real shit. Some of that heavy shit. Some of that shit that no one talks about. Zombies on Your Lawn. I gotta give this a 10. I just... Nothing has anything on this. It's a really funny song. I'll give it a 6. Damn, Ultimate Battle. Absolute staple of the game. I gotta give this a 6.5. Genuinely an amazing song, dude. Like, when I heard this shit blasting on my Nintendo DS when I got to it, it was bumping. Like, listen to this. This is just genuine peak. Like, the way it starts integrating, like, very heavy tech and digital sounds into the game as the zombies start to up their equipment is really cool. Job in the City by Red Fox. It is an insanely long song. Oh wait, no it's not. I thought it said 8 minutes 43 seconds. It's actually just 3 minutes 43 seconds. Really good intro though. Like, if I didn't know this was Vinesauce, I would think this is like a legitimate set in stone, like, reputable band. I really love how he just transitions seamlessly from, like, traditional, like, slightly harder rock to a softer rock. I can kind of hear the influences he has from his inspirations. I'd give this a strong 5.5. Hey, Memento Mori, his title song. Very solid. I actually really like this song, like way more than I would have ever guessed. I gotta give this a 6. It's amazingly done. Really love how that, like, synth is pulsing in and out with its volume and slight panning from what I can hear. I'm not sure if it's panning though. It's a really neat, like, warping effect though that really just kind of ties this together. He's also really hitting those notes. It sounds a tiny bit strained, but it's overall very well done. And maybe that tiny bit of strain maybe actually adds to this song. Who knows? Be Someone Forever by Red Fox, yeah. Again, another banger. Like, God, man, I don't know just how he does it. I like separate Red Fox from Vinesauce, and every time I remember it, those two are the same people, it always just kind of catches me off guard. He isn't always just heavy on like the rock elements. Like he has a good amount of variety in his instruments. Like when I was listening to Metallica, when I listened to their album, it was just straight up like the same sound for a solid 12 songs, and I was actually losing my mind. I won't say that Metallica is bad, but my god, you like just choose one song that you like the most and just only listen to that one. Sorry to any Metallica fans, but when I was listening to Red Vox, this album specifically, I realized just, wow, yeah, a lot of these songs have like unique personalities and like themings and feelings to it. It's cool to see. I'll give this a 5.5. Heart of Cosmos, Primitive Arts Orchestra. Yet again, one of the probably the only J-Jazz band that I can actually actively listen to and not lose my mind. Very classical, just beautiful intro, and then it evolves into its, typical J-Jazz arrangement, and then it loops back into this part, which is very reminiscent and very just amazing at capturing the feeling of like looking at the past in your life and just experiencing that happiness. I'll give this a 5.5. Alright, so I think I'm just gonna blast through Daft Punk like how I did with Kanye. Also the Beatles as well. I'll just stop and talk about Gaultier more once I reach it. Okay, so we got Jorp, Glorp, Schlip, Flat, Shat. So now we got the Beatles. I honestly don't remember these, so I'll have to re-listen to them. And then we got let's see, Goop, Gap, Glip. If you think these songs are very low, ranked very lowly, just know that these songs are kind of past their prime in comparison to when they released and how old I am. I am like a literal child. I can recognize just how astoundingly impactful they were when they released, but hey man, it's just the way. Oh wait, no, I messed it up. I need to re-rank these. Okay, there, I fixed it. I just forgot when I get home, so Tell Me Why was honestly my least favorite, but I think Hard Day's Night was my favorite. I need to get rid of that, absolutely. Also, when I was looking up When I Get Home, for some reason in the recommended search bar, it said, when I get home, I'll beat my wife or something like that. And in the recommended videos, there was this absolutely wild video thumbnail and title. Like, I'll flash it on the screen. Oh my god, what is going on? Anyways, so Smoke and Mirrors and Planet Dob I will talk about in depth, and then I'll just like blaze through Kanye West and Primitive Art Orchestra, except for maybe like one of their songs. And Jack Stauber, I don't think I'll talk about as much. I will talk about Ween though. Again, I have to reiterate that it is truly unfortunate that Gaultier was a one-hit wonder in a literal sense, but in comparison to his other songs, they still have millions upon millions of views. It's just that somebody I used to know just blew it all out of the water. And his other songs are so good, dude. Like, it has the best thing about them are the instrumentals for me. Though his voice does add to it as well, but not as much as his instrumentals. That's the biggest thing for me. I'll give Smoke and Mirrors a 6.5. I think it's just an amazing song, dude. Alright, so it's On Site with Kanye. I don't like this song. I'll give it a 5. It's funny though, the whole bear thing was pretty goofy. It does have this part though. Okay, I actually changed that to a 4 and depends. I just said it's funny. So Mold, Date of Birth. This is a different album from Date of Birth. Usually a lot of people only know it from Planet Dob when they made that fan PS1 game, or PS2 game. And I just found this on accident trying to find that through Tidal, and I found some genuinely good bangers on it. Chill J-rock slash electric music, or not electric, I don't really know how to describe it. It's very heavy on its digital sounds, usually. Alright, I'll be honest, when I think of mold from Planet Dub, I just think of Grapefruit eating that moldy bread. That man's never gonna be able to live that down in his life. Anyways, I'll give this a 5.5. It's actually very solid. Actually, no, I'll give it a 5 only. I'm getting ahead of myself. Sign of the Times is just very, ambient, smooth, electronic music. It's not bad. I'll give it a 4.5. It's kind of good, but it might not be everyone's cup of tea. It is very pleasant, though, despite how, like, jittery the music can sound. Now we're on to Wax. I actually like this song a little bit more. It has a bit of a weird intro, I won't lie. It's interesting in its instrument choice as well, but it's overall pretty good. I gotta give this a 5. We're on to Free Your Love. This kind of reminds me of Ween with how it sounds on occasion. It's pretty experimental. It has some power to it, has some punch. I actually like it. I'll give this a 5.5. Yeah, listen to this. Okay, so apparently James and Wax are literally the exact same song. That's weird. I don't know why it's like that. Did they like fuck up uploading it or something? That's strange. Alright, this is Baby Stan, date of birth. Way more playful, way more in tune with its 2000s upbeat PlayStation game music. I actually very much like this song, way more than the others. I'd give this a 6. Something about it just seems so fitting and just kind of comforting with how nostalgic it can be for me and the way it sounds. Like, it's kind of similar to Katamari Damacy's music, and that is a very big compliment. Au revoir by the same people. It's pretty unique. It's kind of cool how they try to do a different language. Really cool though to see them branch out. It's a solid 5. It's good. Hell of a Life. I will talk about this one a tiny bit more because it's a part of the album, My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, or whatever the hell it's called. People glaze the absolute shit out of that album, and honestly, I'm with Anthony Fantano. I kind of don't get it. Like, when it hits, it really does hit, but I just find myself kind of getting bored of it halfway through, and I can't really reach the songs that are good in it because I just kind of have to slog through, like, these experimental and just weird songs that I just find to be just kind of boring. Find Where I Live and like Murder Me and all that, but that's just my opinion, dude. I love Kanye. I've been listening to him since like I was a kid, like literally as early as like the late 2000s, and it's just a really cool metamorphosis of his music and career, but I'm not really like too much of a big fan of it usually. So I can understand the amount of just change and like evolution and just how amazing it was to see. So Hell of a Life, I hate when songs put in moaning. It's so uncomfortable. Like, not to sound like a huge virgin, but like I don't want to like hear like sex in my goddamn music. It's like I just want to listen to music. I don't want to have to start blasting that shit on the aux cord, and then I just all of a sudden get like porn blasting through my car or my speakers or anything. That's just kind of uncomfortable. I'll give it a 6. It's got a good sound. Alright, now I'll just blast through the rest of these songs, so... Alright, Devil in a New Trust, an absolute classic. I'll give it a 6.5. All of the Lights, funny as shit, dude. The memes made with it is so fucking funny. I'll give it a 6.5. Power, funny as shit as well. I'll give it a... I don't want to give it a 7, but I also want to give it a 7. So I'll give it a 7. Andy Feckler by Ween. Sounds like some TV song that, like, be playing on, like, some family-friendly show. It's a really pleasant song. It's very safe sounding, and I really like how soft his voice can be, so I can give this a strong 6. Alright, The Grove, probably like my third or second favorite song in the White Pepper album, and I really just love that experimental alternative rock that they always do. It's amazing. I'll give it a 5.5. Yes, I do recommend it. Even if you don't, the White Pepper album as well, I think this is my second favorite song. Scrap That Grove was my second. I think I said third as well, so I'll give this a 6. It's a fun song, despite how repetitive its guitar strum can be on occasion. Alright, we got Polka Dot Tail from the Ocean Man album, the Mollusk. Half of that shit is listenable, half of it is, like, not even close to being listenable for me, honestly. But, I really like how psychedelic and just trippy this song can be. It's cool. I'll give it a 5.5. It's a cool listen. If I had to choose what was my favorite Kanye album, it's either Late Registration or College Dropouts. Those two just had a profound impact on me with just how amazing it was. And starting off with Bring Me Down, I just gotta give this a 7. It is an amazing song. It is above everything I heard at the time. You know what? No, I'm actually bumping that shit up to an 8.5. I just think it's just that amazing. Like, it's fucking great, dude. I always come back to this song specifically sometimes when I'm feeling like I want to listen to Kanye. Roses, wow, another just peak song. I'll give it a 8. Amazing. He made Graduation though. A lot of people tend to disregard My Way Home from Late Registration, but I actually really do like it as well. I'll give it a 6.5, but even though it's like a short intermission song, it's great. Man, if you want to talk about iconic, then man, Heard 'Em Say immediately after that intro from the beginning of the album Late Registration, it is peak. It is amazing. I'll have to give this a 7.5. It's I'll say yes. I don't like it as much as Roses or Bring Me Down, but it is a fucking classic. And also, I was laughing because this top comment that says Adam Levine saying ooh, and dude saying me, damn, that's hard. That honestly had me just giggling. Winter Song by Primitive Arts Orchestra. My god, what a beautiful song. It cannot be understated just how just amazingly perfect the instruments can be at certain points. If it was like that throughout the entire thing, and if it was a bit more cohesive in its, like, overall topic, then I would realistically, like, see myself giving this a 9.5, but it just kind of does seem like a bunch of stuff strung together to, like, give a sort of, like, complex emotion at the end of the day, but I don't know, sometimes it's a bit too long, it's a tiny bit too scattered on occasion, but it is an amazing song, it truly is. I will give this a 7.5, actually. I was gonna just give it a 7, but I'll give it a 7.5. It's an amazing song. You know what? Nah, I'm giving this an 8. Okay, we're on to Act from Primitive Art Orchestra. Really good J-Jazz. Above average, if you will. So I think I'll just give this a 6.5. It's got all the cool stuff that you really would like to hear if you had good headphones, like the little clicks and clacks of each and every instrument, and the slight ring that each and every instrument has when bowed as well. Okay, we got Perseus. This sounds like an anime opening song, except without the pretentiousness of it being like some grand adventure, or like where they like children a bit too much in it. As you can tell, I'm very much not a fan of anime anymore. I'll say anymore because it has been like around 9 to 10 years since I last actively enjoyed looking at anime. But anyways, besides that side tangent, very good song. I'll give it a 6. It's a amazing song. Actually, I'll give it a 6.5 as well. Okay, Night Haze, same thing I gotta say. It's the same thing as I said with Perseus. I'll just give it a 6 though. By the way, all of Primitive Arts Orchestra's music is like a couple hundred to a couple thousand views, like, per song. Like, this shit is insanely slept on. I really gotta give my friend credit for finding this for me. It is a wonderful album. And also, Planet Dobbs' other albums are just extremely unpopular as well. I really wish more people listened to it. Like, Planet Dobb only had like 60 views on one of their songs. Alright, We Major by Kanye. Obviously not gonna play it, but absolutely amazing song. It used to be my favorite song, but it got pegged down a level or a tier. And it's another one of those celebratory songs that like rappers make when they quote unquote make it big, but Kanye's doesn't seem like he's bragging about it or like demeaning people. It's like an actual celebratory song, like, we did it. We're there. We reached the finish line, quote unquote. At the end of the day, I'll give it a 7. It is a great song, and that fake out at the end was insane. Like, that shit really hits you when you first listen to it. I very much do recommend listening to this song. It's very long though. It's like 7.5 minutes long. Alright, Beef Zone. Man, if we're talking about peak, this is it. I'm giving this a 100 out of 10. No song even comes close. My mic was muted that entire time. I am losing. Al Dente was a bit more toned down, but it still had his higher pitched vocals and had that signature complete change in the song halfway through, so I gave it a 5. Mirror Man was a bit more theatrical, and I used to like it a bit more than I do now, but now it's a bit annoying, so I just gave it a 4.5, and it depends. Coffee. I kind of enjoy how Coffee's a bit more story-based and about the reliance and sometimes addiction to caffeine and its effects. So I'll give it a 4.5 as well. Those Eggs Aren't Drippy is probably the most dynamic song I've heard from Jack Stauber, and sometimes it's cool, and sometimes I'm just wondering what the hell is he doing. Like, I think Leopard is the best version of what Those Eggs Aren't Drippy is doing, so I'll give this just a 5. Cheeseburger Family, it's another story-based song that kind of creates this quality of having just a nice family and their everyday routines. I'll give this a 5. Candy Eyes from his Pop Food album. I would say it's very slow and very crazy with it on the synths, despite how slow it can be. I'd have to give this a 5 as well. It's not my favorite, I just think it's pretty typical from what you'd expect from his songs. I don't really get like an insane feeling out of it. My Plea, Jack Stauber. My Plea is way more playful than I would have expected to hear, considering its title, you know. And I honestly find this song to be really cool. I like the story that it has and just the undertones behind it. So I'll give this a 5.5. It's good. I Love You, Vern Troyer is probably the most divisive song I can think of for people who like and don't like Jack Stauber. Like, the bass is really cool, but some people are just gonna hate his vocals, but this part right here is genuinely really solid, so I'm kind of on the liking it side, so I'll give this a 5.5. Shunji by C418, another absolute impressionistic, ambient, phenomenal banger. I can't really emphasize it enough. I'll give this a 6. Amazing instrumentals, and I will say that I think C418 has some of the best mixing I have ever heard. Justice, Genesis, really good song, like an actual classic. Like, I forgot how old Justice is. They have some of the best electric dance rock ever. I have to give this a 6. well, especially for their time. For some reason I had this set to VGM despite it being from Witcher 3. I really love this serious, medieval-like melody. It's cool. I'll give this a 5.5. I'd recommend it. This song is absolutely unhinged. His rhymes are just way too complicated to follow, but it has a sort of rhythm that you can't really get enough of sometimes. It just sounds like nonsense, but when you really start paying attention to it, it really starts feeling weird. I'll give this song a straight 5. Good grief, if we're talking about the most iconic MF Doom song, then this is it, man. People fucking love this song. Just right when I start getting sick of that intro, constantly looping with the girl singing La La, it turns into this part, which is really cool. So, honestly, I'm not a huge fan of MF Doom, but I can appreciate what he has. I'll give this a 6. Knock Knock has got a really good beat. Something about it just kinda hits the right way, though there are times where it sounds a little off, and I know that might be on purpose, but it does kind of affect it for me, so I think I'll give this a 5.5. It's still a very good song, regardless. Alright, Thuggin', a bit more traditional music from this type of genre of music, so I'll give it a 5. It's solid. It's something that I would prefer to listen to than compared to other ones. Wow. Hey, look, it's that song that has that famous quote. So, I think the song itself is genuinely great. It just sounds like two close friends rapping together, having a fun time as well. It sounds very natural. I'll give this a 5.5. I like this song a lot, Fancy Clown. It's very bassy, and really like how consistently toned down it is. His lyrics are much easier to follow as well, but I'll still give it a 5.5 as well. Very good song. Hoe Cakes. Pretty goofy intro, but it's honestly just in fun, and I really like how playful the beat and music is in general. The way the beatboxing is just kind of slapped on is pretty funny as well, but I am tempted to give it a 6, but yeah, I'll just give it a 6. I don't know why. This song is just funny enough for me to give it a 6. Meat Grinder, really off-sounding intro compared to what's happening in the rest of the song, where it sounds very, kind of dreary, and not in a bad way, in a pretty interesting and good way. I'll give it a 5.5 though. The song is pretty good. I won't lie, Don't Cry kinda sounds like a sample song, but it's still high quality regardless. It's a very nice song to listen to. I'll give this a 5. Vaudeville Villain by MF Doom, again, it sounds a bit more in character with this comic aesthetic that he had going on. I will have to give this a 5.5 as well. It's fun. Again, with the really weird intro, but very different, like, song after that. And I also kind of like how unorthodox and strange the instrumentals can be. I'll give this song a 5. Alright, Huge Mood Change, Houdini by Foster the People. This is a very upbeat, playful sounding song. Something about their vocals really just kinda hits the right way, and the instrumentals really kinda add to it. And funny thing is, this is the same album as Pumped Up Kicks, which I always find so weird. I'll just give this song a 6, it's great. Alright, we got classic white person music right here. It's solid, I won't lie. I'll give it a 5.5. I did not expect to find myself liking this song as much as I thought I would. You know what, no, I'm not giving it a 5.5, I'll just give it a 5. That's a bit too high. Man, if you want to talk about indie white person love music, then man, you got it right here. This is basically where it peaks. I'm not even joking. This is, as high as it can go for me personally. I'll give it a 5.5. The lyrics, they're cheesy, they're corny, a little cringy on occasion, but they are done very well. Also, the music video is just... It knows what it is. It's just fucking around, man. Swinglin, a very popular TikTok sample song. I'll just give it a 5. It's popular, but I don't really think it's amazing. I'll just give it a 5. The rest of the song is good. Another popular song, Notion. I'll just give it a 5. Freaking Out the Neighborhood by Mac DeMarco. I was introduced to this song by a friend back in high school, and he told me the backstory to this song, and I found it so goddamn funny that I just added it to my playlist. I'll give this a 5.5. I think it's a very good song by itself, and the story just kind of adds to it. You know what? Let's bump that up to a 6. It's two-door cinema music, man. I don't even know what you want me to say. I'll give it its rank and just call that there. Another popular sample song, I'll just give it its rank. Lock It by Crumb, pretty abstract and indie sounding. It's interesting. It's a bit too digital sounding for me on occasion. It's trying a little bit too much. So I'll give it a 5.5. Carried Away, Passion Pit. Man, if we're talking about how to do electropop right and fun, then look no further than Passion Pit. This guy's got the sauce when it comes to that. I'll give this song a 5.5 as well. It's a great song, dude. Little Secrets is kind of where Passion Pit pops off and where he really shows his strengths. I'd say if I had to exclude the Little Big Planet nostalgia factor from Passion Pit, I'd say this is close to his best song that I've heard so far. So I'll give it a 6. Alright, Lasso by Phoenix. It's just two-door cinema, but not two-door cinema. They're basically the same thing to me, honestly. I'll give this a 5.5. It's not bad. It's actually a really good song. Ronald Gregory Erickson II by Starfucker. It kind of reminds me of Modest Mouse. It's not bad. I'll give this a 5. Listomania Phoenix. Again, it's just two-door cinema. Though I think they came before them. Anyways, the song is actually really solid. I'll give it a 5.5. Alright, this funny as fuck song, M83. I like this song way more than I should. I'll give it a 6. If we're talking about cliche, like, radio music, then man, we're looking no further than Walking on a Dream. I'll give this a 5.5. I think I like this song mainly just because of the nostalgia factor. Okay, Listomania. I completely forgot this song existed. I'll be honest, the visuals in the music video is really cool, and I think the song is also really solid, so I'll give this a 6. Again, Passion Pit just doing what he does, and it coming out pretty solid. I think this is a 6 as well. It's a great song. This is up there with being his best song that I've heard of, besides, Little Secrets. Well, you've heard a dog, now we're on a cat. Minecraft. I think this is just a solid upper mid-tier disc song. I'm not really like a humongous fan of the disc songs, even when I first discovered them. I never had that sort of like, holy shit, there's more music factor. It was like, oh cool, there's more music type of thing for me personally. I really do enjoy the concept of music discs, though. I wish more games did it in that sort of open world survival crafts type of scenarios. I really think that I'll give this a 5.5. It sounds very scattered and just sort of somehow calm at the same time. Jesus Christ, I don't know what the fuck Death by Glamour is doing in here. I'll be completely honest. I don't know why it wasn't further into the playlist or further out. So I think Death by Glamour is the best song in Undertale for me personally. I just think that it captures the gameplay, the story, and everything that Toby Fox is good at all in one song. And I've tried doing this string part on my violin and it always sounds slightly off. I still have yet to figure it out. That was pretty loud, but anyways, despite me thinking that it's like the best song fitting for Undertale, I don't think it is like the song I enjoyed the most, so I'll only give it a 7.5, but it's still a really playful, fun, digital sounding song. Oh hey, look, it's Little Big Planet. No, I'm just fucking with you, it's Minecraft Chirp. So weird, so weird how that came to be. I think I heard this song not long after, like, playing Little Big Planet, and I was always so just confused about how and why that happened. And now I know now, apparently it's just a sample they both used. That little, like, fun fact there really kind of changes up the ranking for this song for me, whether I like it or not. I can't really give it a very unbiased rank, even though, you know, technically this is all biased, it's just how much I like the song, but I feel like this is gonna inflate it more than I'd like to admit, so I'll give it a 6. Yes. Also, I just think the song is just really cool. I actually, like, genuinely like the song, not just because of that fun fact. I feel like I should clarify that. Okay, Tally Hall the Bidding. I think it's a bit too theatrical, which is why I don't really like Tally Hall's music to begin with, but this is sort of in the upper echelon for me, so I'll still give it a 5. Wow, if we're talking about being a pretentious, performative song liker, then look no further than Grimes. Good grief. I think their music is actually really solid, and that whole thing with that tweet she did with Elon Musk years ago was honestly just funny as shit. I'll give it a 5. Okay, so I used to call songs sample songs, but this is literally a sample song, like, from a sample library. And somehow it's actually better than, like, some songs that sample it from. It's so funny. So, I'll give this a 5. Drink by Kendrick Lamar. I'm not even gonna say anything, I'm just giving this a 5.5. An absolute classic, Run This Town. I'll give it a 6. Wow, there we go, we did it. End of title. Holy man, we've only just got, like, 40 songs left. Wow. Alright. Planet Dob, like, not from the... I don't think this is, like, connected to the more popular album, Planet Dob. This one's just called Planet Dob. I don't know, it's so confusing. I don't really care enough to look into it, but anyways. Really cool ambient music from the date of birth. It's a bit too lax, though. Like, I wouldn't, like, sit and absorb it, but put it in the background instead. But even if you do choose to sit and absorb it, it's a very interesting and surprisingly active song when you pay attention to it. So I'll give it a 5.5. Again, like I said, the title section was just filled with very high quality songs with only, like, some outliers like On Site and The Beef Zone. The Beef Zone doesn't really count, and, like, some of Jack Stauber's, like, shorter songs that aren't really, like, full-on songs. I wouldn't really count those either. Potehez by Plus Tech. Again, more shoot 'em up chiptune music. He's generally really good at these type of things, so I gave it a 5. I just had to re-record it. Alright, MSX Operation Seedly cover by Kashiwa. Again, another song that just sounds like a 2D shoot-'em-up platformer, or just a regular shoot-'em-up from a top-down perspective. I like that digital chiptune guitar that it has, though. It sounds very nostalgic. I'll give it a 5. Still Life with Ghost by Robo-Octopus. Or Roboctopus, actually. This song sounded pretty jank and amateur for, like, the first good bits, but there's this little section that comes in where it kind of breaks down and has this sort of panning segment that really caught my eyes, or technically ears. And I think that single-handedly raised this to a 5.5. Again, like I said, like, if everyone had the same quality mixing that C418 had, then all songs in this list would be raised by, like, 2 at least. And that's what good mixing does to a motherfucker, I guess. Okay, 04 Obtain Heaven sounds like one of those furry platformer songs, I won't lie, but regardless, it's solid. It's very trance-like. Again, with the very out of nowhere vocal songs for Sonic games. I just think it's really funny. I'll give it a 4.5. I'll say depends. There we go, the final stretch. I think Lemongrass is the best MF Doom instrumental that I've heard, and it's only close by like 2 other songs from what I can remember. I'll give it a 6, man. It's just everything I like about MF Doom. Shellett's is a bit more traditional sounding and old school with its sound. I'll give it a 5. It's good, though a little repetitive. An absolute classic with its sound. I'll give it a 5.5. I like how it glides around. Alright, so now we got Red 40, aka the cover of a song of a kid after consuming Red 40 and going on a rampage. I'll give it a 5. Mugwort, another really solid instrumental, dude. Though it can be a bit overbearing over extended periods of times, so I'll just give it a 5. Allspice, much more laid back and a bit more listenable, honestly. I'll give this a 5 as well. I'll actually tone down Mugwort to like a 4.5. Eucalyptus, a more solid and even better instrumental to hear just by itself. I'll give it a 5.5. I like this a lot more than I would have thought. Benzoin Gum got a slightly old-timey feel to it with that little piano-like instrument right there, as you can hear. I'll give it a 5. Bergamot Wild, though a little bit oppressive with how much it loops, it is a bit more bearable. I'll just give it a 5. It's still a good song. Styrax Gum, way different than I remember it sounding. By itself, it's got a way more of a sad sound to it than I would have expected. I'll give it a 5. Bloodroot sounds like a news channel reporting the news. I'll give it a 5 as well. Clinkfoil sounds like Bloodroot, but it's a bit more clear, it's a bit more audible in its tones, so kind of reminds me of the city. I'll give it a 5. I actually like it more than Bloodroot, but I'll give it a same rank. So Evening A Calm by Alistair John King. This song just randomly popped up when I was doing my other series that I'm planning on doing relating to Roblox, you know, before it started going to shit. So it's a very clear and bright, calming song that vaguely reminds me of the beginning parts of Kingdom Hearts 2, and I do not like the beginning parts of Kingdom Hearts 2, not because of its gameplay or quality, but just way too long than I like to play. So unfortunately, I will have that affect the rating whether I like it or not. It's just kind of a subconscious thing that happens, so I'll still give it a 5. It's a great song. It sounds pretty royalty-free sounding, though. It kind of lacks that identity sometimes, though that doesn't take away from its quality, usually. Cycle to the Stars by Alex Smith. It comes from the same song that I played when doing that Roblox project. And it is a pretty solid song, dude. I wouldn't have guessed that you could just use this. It's kind of amazing. It's very nice, natural sounding acoustic feel. So I'll give this a 5.5. Versus Necrodius, a Terrifying Fiend. I really liked this song because of its synth right there. And that climbing little segment right there is really cool. I'll give it a 5.5 as well. Wow, they really went hard with Bad Nightmare. I remember always going to this fight, particularly in Strato Patrol, just to hear this song because it's such a banger. I'll give it a 5.5. Again, Kirby just going hard as absolute shit on their staff collection themes. It's always just so congratulatory and just somehow sad and happy at the same time. I'll give it a 5.5 as well. Dirtmouth, Hollow Knight. I'll be honest and say when I listened to the entirety of the Hollow Knight OST, only like 3 songs caught my eye because all of it just sounded so ambient and just out of the way. And I'm not gonna say that's a bad thing, but I couldn't really listen to them properly when I have it on a second monitor. I kind of have to actively listen to it, which is kind of tough, honestly. I have to like re-listen to it for the third time in a row if I want to get to Hollow Knight's OST. Dirtmouth is one of those songs that actually caught my ears, and I just find it to be a beautiful song. People have explained it way better than I have, so I'll just give it a 6. It's an amazing song. Suit of Regalia outside the castle walls, Empty Bailey. I think this is the second best song in the game from what I remember correctly when I played it. It has a bit more style to it, a bit more personality, though it still follows that same furry 3D, 2D platformer style that you'd expect from like literally any other game like this. Okami and its effects have had devastating consequences, man. I'll give this a 5.5. Metro Gravity, Enter Coma. Another Amen Break song, and it's kind of doing a bit much, as you can hear. It's very heavy, just on everything. Like, it's going hard. Though, this part right here, that synth is insane, and when you're actually playing the game itself, it sounds fucking crazy. Like, I found this on my Steam Queue discovery page, and it was in early access, or only a demo was available. Once I beat the demo, I looked into the game itself, and when I saw this part, I just thought, wow, is the game actually that good consistently? And unfortunately it wasn't, but it's a bit weird. It's kind of too varied and too scattered for me to consider buying it and playing through the entire thing, but I will look into what the developer makes later on, because that segment right there with the second boss, or yeah, I think this is the third or second boss, was very good. Like, it shows that this guy can make some crazy shit if he wants to, and if he spends the time in like directing that focus a bit more onto something more specific. Anyways, the song itself, just that one part with the synth honestly carries it, and the game emphasizes it, so I'll give it a 5.5. It's a very good song. Flashy Goodness, back at it again. I'll just give it its rank and say Fight and Flight is a great song. Very varied, very just high energy and hype. Okay, so it's a bunch of System of a Down and Korn songs and Slipknot songs after this. I will give a little bit of backstory before I do that and say that I was introduced to metal at a very early age by one of my cousins, and I never looked back since until like slightly earlier, back in the last months of this last year. And I kind of get where she was coming from, but there are some songs where I'm thinking, wow, yeah, it's a bit too much. I can absolutely see the appeal, though, for like many of these songs. I think they're absolutely phenomenal. Like, spoiler alert, Hypnotize is going to be my favorite one. Horus does that classic sounding, long drawn out vocals when he's really trying to emphasize something. It's really cool. I'll give it a 5.5. Science sounds much more in sync with its instrumentals than other songs from what I've heard so far. I'll give it a 5.5 as well. BYOB is way more story intense than the other songs in this playlist from what I remember correctly, and it's pretty cool, but it's a bit too heavy on its story sometimes for me, that it sounds like it starts detaching from the song, so I'll give it a 6. Like, the song sounds damn near bipolar with how much it changes around, and I kind of don't like how much it repeats the same thing. I can absolutely see why people rank this song very highly, though. It's cool. Violent Pornography, yeah, this song was introduced to me at an age where it most likely had a permanent and bad effect on my mental well-being and development of my childhood, but I think it's a pretty good song. It's a very fun and genuinely introspective song, and I think it's pretty cool. I'll give it a 6 as well. God, where do I even begin with Hypnotize? Everything about it just sounds basically as perfect as it can be with a metal song. It is great. It has the message, it has the beautiful instrumentals, the very raw sounding, and I will say it's slightly screechy and shrill vocals that somehow, I don't know how they do it, sound in place and very memorable and somehow appealing to listen to. The only criticism I will give this song that will probably make it not reach 9.5 is the end part where it just starts repeating the same line, like, waiting for my girl in my car. That part just gets repeated way too much, and I feel like it could have been filled in with other, like, lines. It's kind of like Iron Mouse when she started saying, like, wow, wow, a bunch. It just sounded like filler. Anyways, regardless of that one very niche and specific criticism, this is a 9, dude. It is a beautiful song. I'll give it an absolutely. Chop Suey, System of a Down, man. Wow, fuck, man. I don't even know what to say about this song. I'll just give it an 8 and say, yeah, it is a classic and staple for a reason. A lot of Korn's music just sounds like Doom trailer music, or like Call of Duty Black Ops Zombies music, so I'll just give them a 5.5. I think Black is the Soul is pretty good. I'll give Take Me a 5.5 as well. Wait and Bleed by Slipknot, I kinda like the thing that they're trying to say with this song, and I also really like the vocals and instrumentals. It sounds really cool. I'll give this a 7, actually. Okay, Almost Easy. This is a cover by Soldier's Project by Ilmin Muhammad. I heard it from that Roblox song. If you know it, you know it. I just think the song is genuinely very solid, and I think the cover slightly beats out the original due to its more dynamic and clear sound, so I'll give it a 6. It's great. Mainly like Sulfur because of this part. Slipknot really knows just what makes them good. Oh hey, look, Psychosocial, funny as fuck. I'll give it a 6. It's pretty decent. Dead Memories, it's a pretty solid song as well. I'll give it a 5.5, and I'll be honest, the music video where it like pans between these two guys staring at each other in the hallway is funny as hell. Oh man, it's like a YouTube poop. Lost in Hollywood, System of a Down, it's a very good song, and I kind of like how they were shitting on Hollywood even back then. It's such a funny thing. I'll give it a 6 because it has some nostalgia factor, because I think it was one of the songs shown to me at a young age. For some reason I had it, before I forget, listed as a System of a Down song. Anyways, the song is really cool. It was like the closest thing you had to seeing their faces back then. And the song itself is just great, so I'll give it a 6. Aerials, a bit more airy than their usual songs. It's not as heavy. I'll give it a 6 as well. It's a great song. Toxicity. Anyways, this song changes time signature a bunch, and apparently it's not primarily one key signature from what I read. It's just a very interesting and cool song. I gave it a 7. Lavender Buds, I forgot to add this to my MF Doom instrumentals, and I think this is the second best one in the entirety of that playlist. I'll give it a 6. It's a great instrumental, dude. I also really like that vocal intro too. It's just so raw. I'll be honest, I don't know why I had Winter Song in there twice. Maybe I just forgot. Anyways, Parrot Rave. It's exactly what it sounds like, dude. It's just some breakcore. A bit boring, honestly, for me personally. I'll give it a 5. It has some cool segments, though. It does kind of drop the whole thing and go into a smoother and slower section. Doja Cat for Morant. I find this song to be really interesting and very intriguing. It sounds very raw. I'll give it a 5.5. Jettison Split Suns. This song is very solid. Kind of reminds me of Unreal Tournament stage where it has that arena floating in the orbit section. I don't know why. It's a bit spacey sounding. Anyways, I'll give this a strong 5.5 as well. It is good. Though I won't lie, it's a bit long. It's 6 minutes and 40 seconds long. Kiara, The Dark Sun Prince by Jackerson. It is very indie digital sounding music yet again. I'll give it a 5. It sounds a bit scattered on occasion. I feel like it doesn't have too much of a theme sometimes. It's just mainly there to sound good, which it does do well. It's got that furry platformer music feel with it, though, with some instrumental choices. Anyways, Galaga Medley. Like I said, Nintendo just does the remixes the best. It goes through a lot of stages, motifs, and melodies, and it does it very well. Especially this part. This part's really fucking cool. I like it. It kind of scratches a specific part of my brain. I'll give it a 6. Shantae and the Pirates of Courage Trip Through the Sequin Land. Very iconic Shantae song, if I remember correctly. Like, this is like one of the songs that some people remember from the games. I'll give it a 5.5. It is solid. Ho-Oh Battle Theme. This song is so good. Like, I'm telling you, they don't make Pokemon songs like they used to. Like, this is such a primal and intense song. Like, listen to that. The way it's going higher, but meanwhile, there's another part descending, and then it completely transforms, like, partway through the song to just purely the percussion and, like, the drums just banging away. It's so cool. Like, listen to that. That's so cool, man. I gotta give this a 6.5. Actually, you know what? Yeah, I'm giving this a 7. I think it is just an amazing song, dude. Mario and Luigi Dream Team Adventures End by Yoko Shimomura. Again, you can kind of hear that Kingdom Hearts influence. I don't know why the song quality is kind of scuffed right now, but you can really hear that this song's going crazy with it. It is a banger, much like every other Mario and Luigi game. It is a strong 6.5. It is amazing. Fire Emblem music, but the Smash Bros. Version, aka the better version. Very climactic, very triumphant sounding as well. You also got that very iconic trumpet right there that's associated with Fire Emblem. I'll give this a 6.5 as well. It is a banger, dude. And the way it tones down partway through the song, I don't know why my list just all of a sudden exploded upward when I deleted that search bar. Anyways, it is strong. It knows when to back off as well. Okay, so these two songs, Blink and One Life by Bob Moses and Raekwon Stacy Barthe, came from the SoundCloud Anniversary playlist that all sounded like generic SoundCloud rapper. I'm not gonna say garbage because that'd be mean, but it really did not sound great. It just sounded like the same thing repeating like for 30 songs in a row. And these two kind of shone through and it made me interested enough to like look into it and eventually like it. So I'll give Blink a solid 5. I think it's a good song, and I'll give One Life a yes as well. Man, if we're talking about being cheery and happy and just uncaring, then Bullfighter Jacket really is that song. It's got a very free feeling to it. I'll give it a 6. I don't know why I like it as much as I do, but that's just the way it is. We did it! Oh my god. I finally finished. To put this into perspective, I started this whole thing like almost 2 years ago, or like a year and a half ago, and I drafted it up around maybe a year before that, and my god, man, I honestly wasn't expecting to finish it this quickly, let alone finish it at all. Like, oh man, that is insane. 1,620, actually, 44 songs if we're subtracting it by 25 because, the intro part that requires all the information. Oh, man. I'm done. I can stop recording now. Oh my god. Oh man, I'm done. Like, I just gotta keep saying that. Like, I'm actually done. Though I'm not really, like, truly done. I will keep doing this list. Like, I'll have to start with, like, OSTs, and then I'll have to move on to, like, full-on albums, and then rank everything that was missing, because, like I said in previous segments, this is all just from my playlist only. This is well over 5 years of songs that I've had saved up, and all have impacted me as a person and made me who I am today. Though there are so many songs that are not included in this because I either lost it, didn't include it, or they're just gone. Which is kind of like a big reason why I'm even doing this, to like have at least some sort of record of this song, like somewhere out there. And though there are a lot of people who do like song reviews and shit, I don't really see people doing like a review of each and specific song, and sometimes the songs just straight up vanish. Like one time, I added a song in my playlist, though I was a bit pessimistic and patronizing in that playlist name, because I won't lie, the song was pretty scuffed, and it got deleted. I think SoundCloud artists can see what the playlist name is if it's public, and I think that might have contributed to it, so I'll try to not make that mistake again, and like try to have at least some form of record of like stuff like that. And to many people, who gives a shit if like a song gets deleted? But to me, like, regardless if I like shit on a song or like think it's like the best of the best or the worst of the worst, I think there's some value to be had in bad art and good art, but mainly bad arts, because we're living in an age where the minimum is greatness, and because of that, it tends to insert this mindset of not being comfortable at being bad at something for a long time, because everyone just improves so fast. Everyone's just always showing their best and just doing what they do and what they love, unapologetically on a surface level, and I think that is a very toxic thing to do, and I don't think it's on purpose most of the time, but it's certainly what gets out there, and it's just unfortunate to see that sort of thing happening, because I'm great at a lot of the things I do because I've spent so many years just working on it, and people will only usually see at a surface level the top of the mountain of the piles of work that you've done to get to that point, and you need to show the process in order to convey that authenticity. So anyways, I'm done yapping. I'm done with this list for a good while. I don't think I'm going to continue it for maybe like a couple of weeks, maybe even a couple months, and then I'll finally get back to it and adding more songs to the list that are missing, like the rest of the Hollow Knight album, the rest of the Budokai Tenkaichi 3 album, the rest of the Interstellar songs, maybe the rest of One Piece's score, or maybe Dragon Ball's score, who knows. There's just so much that is just not talked about because people generally tend to categorize it or review on a broad scale that tend to gloss over the finer aspects of each and every piece that people tend to put so much effort into. And for every person, that tends to be a very wildly different or just varying song. So, this is it, though. I guess I'll see you to it in the third and final milestone for quite a while, because I am not going to be doing it every 500 songs, like I said. It'll be maybe every 1,000, maybe every 2,000, who knows. See ya.